Okay, so it's day 64 and today we'll be solving this count subarrays with score less than k. So this would be a short tutorial because there's a straightforward solution to this problem. So the problem says that the score of an array is defined as the product of its sum and its length. So for example, the score of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the sum of all the elements multiplied by the length. So given a positive integer array nums and an integer k, return the number of non-empty subarrays of nums whose score is strictly less than k. And you all know what a subarray is. For example, in 21435 they have given subarrays of length 1 and there's only one subarray of length 2. Okay, so the total answer here is 6. So how do you solve this? So suppose you are given an array. So let's just say some random elements. So this I'm writing, these are all indices and not the number. And suppose you are at this particular element. ठीक है, अभी तुम लोग यहाँ पे हो and तुम्हें बताना है कि how many subarrays exist such that this particular element is the starting point. This particular element is the starting point. So how do you do that? तुम्हें check करता you'll have to keep checking for like in brute force approach you'll have to keep checking कि if I end over here, that is 2 के बाद if I end, is this a valid subarray? Then you'll have to do the same thing for 3, then the same thing for 4 and the same thing for 5. But if you look at the problem, it says the product of its sum and its length. So अगर यहाँ तक आंसर है, if the answer exists till from 1 to 4, then it is pretty much obvious that answer also exists for 2 and and the answer also exists for 3. So जब भी ऐसा कंडीशन आता है कि एक सर्टेन पॉइंट तक उससे पहले वाले सारे इंडिसेस में आंसर रहेगा एंड उसके बाद वाले इंडिसेस में आंसर नहीं रहेगा, यू कैन ऑलवेज अप्लाई बाइनरी सर्च. So given an index, what you'll do is you'll apply binary search from this point to this point and you will check कि for every point अगर तुम्हारा suppose आंसर ले लो यहाँ पे आ रहा है, then you will move to the right bound and तुम्हें बेसिकली चेक करते रहना है कि लाइक व्हाट्स द लार्जेस्ट क्वेश्चन में इट इज़. हाँ, सो यू विल हैव टू चेक व्हाट्स द लार्जेस्ट इंडेक्स आई कैन गो टिल जहाँ तक तुम्हारा जो सम है दैट इज़ लेस देन के एंड उसके पहले जो भी सब अरेज है ऑब्वियसली उनका लेंथ लेस देन के होगा. सो वंस यू हैव दिस लेंथ दैट इज एक्चुअली इक्वल टू द नंबर ऑफ सब अरेज देन. So again, straightforward solution, you will make a prefix sum. So how do you get the answer for this particular value? You will have the prefix sum and you will obviously have the length, so you can get the sum and then you can also multiply it with the length. So for that you'll have to make a prefix sum and then you'll try for every index assuming that it's the starting point, and then you'll run a binary search on the length possible. The length possible is 1 and the right bound is n minus I. Depending on your I will decide the length, right, because max bound कम होता रहेगा. And then you'll settle with a mid that you'll assume कि ये मेरा आंसर है, that you'll be checking कि this particular length के लिए basic binary search approach. For every mid you will check if it is possible to go till that point such that ये वाला जो formula है product of its sum and its length it's less than k. If it is, you will move your left pointer to the right side क्योंकि तुम्हें maximum index चाहिए, right, जहाँ तक चीज़ें possible है. And how this possible वाला function works, again it is you'll get the score like prefix sum पहले, then you'll multiply it with length. If it is less than k you'll return true, otherwise you'll simply return false. एंड अगर वहाँ पे पॉसिबल रह रहा है यू विल गेट दी मैक्सिमम आंसर, मतलब मैक्सिमम इंडेक्स गिवन एन आई, यूल गेट दी मैक्सिमम इंडेक्स जहाँ तक तुम्हारा आंसर आएगा एंड दैट इज़ योर लेंथ, राइट, क्योंकि तुमने लाइक यू वर मेंटेनिंग अ टी एम पी विच इज़ एक्चुअली दिस मिड एंड फॉर वॉट एवर वैल्यू इट्स पॉसिबल यू लाइक दिस टी एम पी विल ऑलवेज स्टोर दी मैक्सिमम इंडेक्स जहाँ तक तुम्हारा लाइक मैक्सिमम लेंथ जहाँ तक तुम्हारा आंसर पॉसिबल है, एंड देन यू कैन जस्ट ऐड दैट टू योर आंसर एंड रिटर्न दैट. ठीक है, दैट्स ऑल. कुछ इसमें डाउट हो तो पूछ लेना. दैट्स ऑल फॉर टुडे. बाय बाय.